Dude, you won't believe the news that just dropped. The US Department of Justice has dropped all criminal fraud charges against Indian billionaire Gautam ADANI. I'm Jack, and with me is Jillian. So, you know how Adani is one of the richest guys in the world, worth a staggering $82 billion, and his company, ADANI Group, is one of India's largest business conglomerates, with interests in energy, ports, and airports. Listen to this. The charges were dropped just days after Adani agreed to settle a separate civil case. And get this, his company also agreed to pay $275 million to the US Treasury to settle an investigation into alleged violations of sanctions on Iran.
Crazy, right? You'd think that with all these charges and investigations, Adani would be in some serious trouble, but apparently not.
Here's a wild quote from the settlement. The U.S. Justice Department has filed a motion seeking dismissal, with prejudice of the charges against Adani and his company officials.
That's insane. You have to wonder what kind of sway Adani has to get these charges dropped like that.
No way. This is a huge deal, and it's going to have major implications for Adani's business dealings in the U.S. So it turns out that Adani hired a new team of lawyers led by Robert J Giuffra Jr., who's not only the head of one of the most powerful law firms in the U.S., but also one of President Trump's personal legal advisors.
You've got to think that had something to do with the charges being dropped. I mean, what are the chances, right?
Giuffra reportedly met with Justice Department officials last month to lay out concerns about the case, and apparently they were very persuasive.
That's a pretty big pledge, and you've got to wonder if that had anything to do with the decision to drop the charges.
I mean, who wouldn't want a $10 billion investment and 15,000 new jobs, right? But at the same time, it's hard not to feel like justice isn't being served here.
But at the same time, it's hard not to feel like justice isn't being served here.
The agreement to pay $275 million to the U.S. Treasury was part of a civil case against ADANI Enterprises for allegedly violating sanctions on Iran, which is a pretty serious offense. From November 2023 to June 2025, ADANI Enterprises purchased shipments of liquefied petroleum gas from a Dubai-based trader that actually originated from Iran, which caused U.S. financial institutions to process $192 million in payments for the shipments.
I mean, if you're going to settle a case, shouldn't you at least admit to what you did wrong?
It's not like Adani is out of the woods yet, though there are still a lot of people who are skeptical of his business dealings, and this isn't going to do much to alleviate those concerns. You've got to wonder what kind of message this sends to other business leaders. If you're rich and powerful enough, you can just buy your way out of trouble.